Hello. So today be talking about the time in which I jumped over this super huge. It was like mega huge, right? Mega huge fence when I was in kindergarten. Also, I'm eating some cabbage soup that I made because I'm poor. There's some kielbasa in it. There's ground turkey, some jalapenos, and I cut up like 3 slices of bacon into like tiny, tiny strips, and I threw it in there too. So it's pretty good. But to begin the story, in kindergarten, okay, okay, fish. If you guys want to see him, he's right there. Look at that guy being naughty. But anyway, so in kindergarten, every day when I got to school, like right in front of the door, I would walk past this little tiny fence. But because I was in kindergarten, that fence was huge, right? The fence was the same size as me. Can you imagine like a 5 year old Asian kid? Like, you know, I don't know how tall I would be. Like 3 feet? Who knows? I was I wasn't that small, right? In kindergarten, I was probably like the biggest kid. If you don't really believe me, I was, right? So there's this fence, right? And I walk past it every single day. And I want to say it was probably closer to the end of the year already. This fence always looked at me. Always looked at me. Kind of like Forky would, like right here. Forky, you know? It's like, I see you. Ooh. But yeah, so it would give me the stare down pretty much every single day. Every single day. One day I was like, or I was standing next to my best friend. It was like probably the end of, yeah, it was the end of the day. And I was there with my homie. We'll call him A1, A1 steak sauce. A1 was like my best friend all of kindergarten. We pretty much did everything together. It was the end of the day. A1 and I were grabbing our stuff, grabbing our backpacks, grabbing our spring jacket, you know. I look at A1 and I'm like, yo, dude, I'm gonna jump that fence. It always looks at me like I'm a little pipsqueak. We'll see who's the pipsqueak, right? I'm gonna soar over you, and then you're gonna be the pipsqueak, not me, you. So he looks at me and he's like, all right, I bet you two whole quarters that you can't do it. And I was like, challenge accepted. I can do this. I've trained my whole life for this. I've trained 5 years for this moment to jump over this goddamn fence. And I was about to do it. So I set my stuff down. I'm like Rock Lee during that fight with Gara, where he just drops his ankle weights and his arm weights and just boom. 俺が許す
あれって重しかよーしこれで楽に動けるぞいや
You know? And like that one time Goku fought with Tien, took off his weighted clothes, just that was me. That was me. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump over this bad boy. No one's gonna do anything about it. What I didn't realize was that my teacher was still in the room. And she was extremely observant, especially because it's kindergarten. You gotta know what the kindergartners are doing at all times, right? Because we're naughty little kids. I mean, granted, I was the best kid. I was always number one.
He was number one.
But at this moment in time, she caught me. All right. So I'm eyeing the fence, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it. So I charge, and I'm like, and the fence is like yay high, right? It's like this. And I'm like, and everything becomes slow motion, and I'm just like that part in the Matrix, you know, where Neo is trying to jump to the other building. That was me. I was like, but instead of failing, boom! I made it over. I was a G. At that moment in time, I was my own greatest hero. I made the leap of faith, the jump that not even Evil Knievel can make. I was pretty much the bravest human in all of history at that moment in time. No one could surpass my greatness. This is good. Meow, meow to you too. I jumped over that bad boy. And you wouldn't believe the look on A1's face. Right? He looked at me. He looked at me like I was the freaking Red Ranger in Power Rangers. Right? He looked at me like I was a White Ranger becoming the good guy, playing his little flute, or was it the Green Ranger? I don't freaking know. One of those two. But playing the little flute dagger thing, dude, that was me. He was like, all hail the king. So he walks over to me. And then he turns around. And there's my teacher. Staring me dead in the face. She was so disappointed. She looked at me and she was like, "You! Time out! Go! I'm calling your parents." And I'm like, oh God. Don't call my mom. I was like, don't call my mom. She's gonna kill me. I will die. You will not see me tomorrow. You will not see me tomorrow if you call my mom. So what she does is, instead of calling my mom because I pleaded that I didn't want to die, she called my sister. And my sister's a lot older than me. I mean, not like a lot older than me, but she was in 5th grade at the time. So, yeah, I'm sitting in timeout. And she's sitting there on her phone, calling to my sister's class. And the look on her face, she was like,
He jumped over the freaking fence. He's gonna be in so much trouble.
And she hangs up the phone. And she comes over to me and she's like, "You're gonna wait here, mister, till your sister comes and picks you up to take you home." And I'm just like, oh God, hopefully she doesn't tell mom, or I'm dead. But anyway, like 5-10 minutes roll around, and my older sister comes and pick me up, and she just looks at me and she's like disappointed, but low key she's like, "You jumped that fence. Good job." And then as I'm walking out of the door to walk home with my sister, I turn around and I see A1 waiting for me, and I'm like, that's my best friend right there. A1 walks up to me and he's like, "Here you go." Opens up his hand. Bam! 2 quarters. Two freaking quarters that he gives me, or that he bet me. All right, he's like, "All hail the king." You deserve this. Hands me the 2 quarters. Turns around, walks towards his sister, which is the same age as my sister, grabs her hand, and they walk out to go home. And I'm like, putting on my crown. I am the greatest. The greatest! But yeah, that was the time I jumped over that stupid fence. I got in trouble for it. When I got home, I'm pretty sure I got yelled at. I couldn't play games for like a week. Yeah, my teacher hated me after that, but whatever. Anyway, later, dudes.